Good morning everyone. Today we will be doing exercise questions for class 10th chapter electricity. So let's start with the questions. So here is our first question. Here we are given that you have a wire whose resistance is R, and when this wire is cut into 5 equal parts and these 5 equal parts are connected in parallel, the resistance of equivalent circuit become R dash. Fine. And what is the ratio of R and R dash? They have given us these four options. See, the basic concept behind this question is that the resistance of a wire is proportional to its length. Fine. So basic concept over here is R is proportional to L. So if you have a wire whose resistance is R and you are cutting it into 5 equal parts, then each part will have resistance equal to R by 5. So if you have a wire like this, fine, if you are cutting it, resistance of this wire is R, and if you are cutting this wire into 5 equal parts like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then resistance of each part would be equal to R by 5. Why? Because resistance is proportional to length. Now these wires whose resistance is R by 5 each, these are connected in parallel. So when you are connecting these in parallel, what will be the net resistance or what will be the equivalent resistance? The equivalent resistance in parallel we know. So when connected in parallel, we know in parallel equivalent resistance is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4 plus 1 by R5. Now what is R1? R1 is of course R by 5. So this is R by 5. So I will write 5 by R over here, again 5 by R, again 5 by R, and so on. So this will be our value of equivalent resistance, and in the question it is given that equivalent resistance is equal to R dash. So I would be writing R dash over here. Now what we need to do is we will calculate this value of R dash. Now from here we can write 1 by R dash is equal to R is LCM and it will be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So 1 by R dash will be equals to 25 by R, or you can write R by R dash is equal to 25. Fine. So ratio of original resistance divided by the resistance of equivalent circuit when connected in parallel is 25. So our correct option is option number B. So our answer is 25. So here is our second question. In this question, it is asked that out of these four formulas, which is not the formula for power, means which formula is not representing electric power. See, what are different formulas for power? Power is of course rate of flow of energy. So we denote power as flow of heat or energy per unit time. Fine. So we have already done number of formulas for heat or for energy. So those formulas were H is equal to I square RT. Fine. So if you get the value of power from this formula, the power will be equal to I square R, cancelling time. Similarly, you have formula for heat, that is equal to VIT. So from this formula, the power will be equal to VI. Another formula that is there for heat is V square by R into T. So from this formula, our power would be equal to V square by R. Right? So these are the three different formulas that we have established for power. So I square R is correct, IR square is not there. So this is the wrong formula. Right? VI is okay, V square by R is again fine. So this is the formula which is not there for electric power. So our answer is D. So here is our question number 4. Here we are given two conducting wires of same materials and equal lengths and equal diameters. They are first connected in series and then they are connected in parallel. So we have to calculate the ratio of heat produced in series and in parallel. What else is given? They are connected to same potential difference. Both of these wires, they are connected when they were connected in series and when they are connected in parallel. In both cases, they are connected with the same potential difference. So as we know, what is total resistance in series? Total resistance in series is sum of resistances. So if you have two wires of equal materials, that means equal resistivity, equal lengths and equal areas, then it is clear that both of these will have equal resistance. Fine. So let us suppose the resistance of each wire is R. So total resistance in series would be equal to R plus R, that is equal to 2R. And in parallel, the total resistance would be equal to, as we know, it is the sum of reciprocals. So it would be 1 by R plus 1 by R when they are in parallel. So it would be 2 by R. So our total resistance in parallel would be equal to R by 2. Now as these two configurations, they are connected with same potential difference, it is given in the question. So formula for heat in series would be equal to V square by R in series into T. Right? So what is R in series? R in series is equal to 2R. So heat produced in series would be equal to V square by 2R into T. Fine. Similarly, we can write formula for heat produced in parallel and it would be equal to, so I will be rubbing this. So heat produced in parallel, same formula V square by resistance in parallel into T. And what is total resistance in parallel? Total resistance in parallel is equal to R by 2. So here I would be putting R by 2 into T. Fine. So this is heat produced in parallel and it would be equal to this R by 2. This 2 will go up and it will become 2V square by R into T. So heat produced in parallel is equal to this and heat produced in series is equal to this. Now we will be calculating their ratios. And ratios will be heat produced in series by heat produced in parallel. In series it is V square T over 2R and in parallel it is 2V square T. And this R will go over here. So here R and R will get cancelled, V square T will get cancelled. And heat in series by heat in parallel would be equal to 1 by 4. So our answer for the ratio will be 1:4. And 1:4 is here, option number C. So our correct option is option C. So our fifth question is that how voltmeter is connected across a circuit to measure potential difference. Means they have just asked that how will you connect a voltmeter across a circuit if you want to measure potential difference. See, there are two ways of connection. One you can connect in series and one you can connect in parallel. And voltmeter is always connected in parallel. So our answer would be voltmeter is connected in parallel. And if they ask why voltmeter is connected in parallel, your simple answer should be Voltmeter is used to measure potential difference across a resistor. That is the purpose of voltmeter. And voltmeter has a very high resistance. Now if you connect that voltmeter in series, what would happen? It will change the potential difference of the circuit. Fine. And at the same time, the current flowing through the circuit, it will also get changed. Fine. It will decrease due to change in potential difference because resistance of that voltmeter is quite large. So instead of connecting it in series, we connect that high resistance voltmeter in parallel to the circuit. Right? So our answer would be, it is connected in parallel. So here is our question number 6. A copper wire has diameter of 0.5 mm. So we are given diameter of 0.5 mm. So I would be writing all the given values over here. So diameter is 0.5 mm and resistivity equal to 1.6 10 raised to power minus 8. So it is 1.6 10 raised to power minus 8 ohm meter. What will be the length of this wire if you want to have resistance of 10 ohm? That means you want resistance of 10 ohm, and for that what will be the length of this wire? Now we know the formula for resistance is equal to rho length by area. Fine. And the resistance that we need is 10 ohm. So instead of R I will be writing 10. Resistivity is of course 1.6 10 raised to power minus 8. Length of this wire is something that we need to calculate. And what is area? Area is of course pi r square. But instead of R we are given diameter. What is diameter? Diameter is double the value of radius. Fine. So instead of r square I would be writing d by 2 square. From here what we are going to get is 10 is equal to 1.6 10 raised to power minus 8 into L over pi into, now diameter is 0.5 mm. If you convert 0.5 or if you convert mm into meters, it will be divided by 1000. Fine. So I would be writing 0.0005 over 2 square. So from here we can calculate the value of length, and this length would be, the length would be equal to 10 into pi, the value of pi is 22 by 7, into this value 0.0005 by 2 square divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 8. Fine. Now by solving this equation we will get 122.72 meters. So by calculating these numerical values, our length would come equal to 122.72 meters. So this is the length that we need if we want that the resistance of this wire should be equal to 10 ohm. So apart from that, there is another question here. How much does the resistance change if diameter is doubled? Now keeping the length same, if you are keeping length as it is and you are doubling the diameter of the wire, what will be the new resistance? So that is the second question. So how we will be solving that? Now when diameter is doubled, we need to calculate the value of new resistance. Fine. So original diameter was equal to 0.5 mm. Now when you double this diameter, the new diameter would be equal to 1 mm. Fine. So we can write 1 mm equal to 0.001 meters. Fine. So this will be the new diameter after doubling the diameter. So now the new resistance will be equal to rho resistivity L by area. Resistivity would remain same. It was 1.6 10 raised to power minus 8. Length will also remain same, that is 122.72. Area would be equal to pi r square. Now r would be equal to d by 2 and d is this. So I would be writing 0.001 divided by 2 square. Now by solving this numerical value, we will get the answer, and that will be equal to 2.5 ohm. So new resistance will become 2.5 ohm when we are doubling the diameter of that wire, keeping its resistivity length same. Now to plot this graph, I will be taking potential on vertical axis V over here and current on horizontal axis in this direction. Fine. So now, as we know, the potential is changing from 1.6, 3.4, 6.7, 10.2 up to 13.2. So I will be taking these values as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. So in this way you can take these calibrations 2 to 14 with a gap of 2 each. And similarly we can take current. Current is from 0.5 to 4. So I can take it as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Fine. So now when voltage is 1.6, current is 0.5. So current 0.5 will be over here and potential is 1.6, and 1.6 will lie somewhere over here. Fine. So I will be joining these 2 points and I will get this point. Fine. Similarly, corresponding to voltage of 3.4, you have current of 1 ampere. That means when voltage is 3.4, 3.4 will be lying somewhere over here. Fine. So I am just drawing this on board. You have to draw these on a graph paper with equal calibration, taking equal boxes. Fine. So according to 3.4 voltage, current is 1. So I will be joining these 2 points over here. So I will get this point. Similarly, for voltage of 6.7, current is 2. So for voltage of 6.7, that will be lying somewhere over here. Our current is 2. So I will be joining these 2 points over here. Fine. So you have to join these with your scales. Fine. Next we have voltage of 10.2 and current is 3. So voltage of 10.2 will be somewhere over here and current is 3. So my point will lie somewhere over here. Similarly, corresponding to 13.2, I have 4 ampere of current. So 4 ampere of current corresponding to 13.2. So it will be somewhere over here. So in this way, I will get all the points. Next, what we need to do is, right? So in this way, you will get a straight line between potential and current from this tabular data. So next we will be calculating resistance. Now we know from Ohm's law V is equal to IR. So R would be equal to ratio of voltage over current. Fine. So what we need to do is just I will be calculating resistance from this. Here V is 1.6 and current is 0.5. So firstly I will be having this amount of resistance 1.6 divided by 0.5. Similarly, from second case, my resistance would be 3.4 divided by 1. 3.4 divided by 1.0, that is 1. Similarly, from third case, I will have 6.7 divided by 2. So in this way, you can calculate all these resistances from different values given in the table. And in the end, what you have to do is you will add all these resistance and divide it by the number of values. The number of values over here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. So in the end you will be adding all these resistances and dividing this by 5, and you will get an average value of resistance. So that is the question. So next we are proceeding to our next question. So here is our question number 7. In this question we are given that there is a battery of 12 volt and it is connected across an unknown resistor whose resistance is not known, and there is a current of 2.5 milliampere passing through that circuit. Fine. So what you are asked, find the value of resistance of that resistor. So you have to calculate resistance. Fine. So it is a simple question. You just need to calculate the value of R. Fine. And what you are given the value of potential, that is 12 volt. What else is given? Current is equal to 2.5 milliampere. So to convert this milliampere into ampere, what you will be doing? You will be dividing this value by 1000. So it will be in ampere. Now simply applying Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So R would be equal to ratio of V by I. And it would be equal to, what is voltage? It is 12. And what is current? It is 2.5, and 1000 will go over here. Now if you remove this decimal, another 10 will get multiplied over here. So it will be left with 1000 into 10. Fine. So you can write it as 40. Now our resistance from here would be equal to, it 12 into 400, that's it. So it would be equal to 4800 ohm. Fine. So you can also write 4800 ohm equal to 4.8 kilo ohm. Kilo ohm is the larger unit of resistance, and 1 kilo ohm is equal to 1000 ohm. So by dividing this value by 1000, we will be getting 4.8 kilo ohm. So you can also write the answer in form of kilo ohm. Previous question was question number 8th, and now we are proceeding to question number 9th. In this question we are given a battery of 9 volt. It is connected in series with these resistors of 0.2 ohm, 0.3 ohm, 0.4 ohm, 0.5 ohm and 12 ohm. So a battery is connected with all these resistors in series, and they are asking that how much current would flow through 12 ohm resistors. So firstly we will be drawing a diagram for this question. So we are given that these resistors, they are connected in series. So I would be connecting these in series like this. This is 0.2 ohm. And these are connected with a battery of 9 volt. So this is the circuit diagram for above question. Now they are asking that how much current would flow through this 12 ohm resistor. Now we know that in series current passing through different resistors is same. Fine. So let the current starting from here is I. This current will flow through all these resistors and it will reach over here. Fine. So to find the current, firstly I will be calculating the net resistance of this circuit. I know the formula for net resistance in series is just the sum of all these resistors. So I would be writing 0.2 plus 0.3 so our net resistance would be equal to 13.4 ohm. Fine. So when net resistance is 13.4 ohm, voltage of battery is 9 volt. So we can apply Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So I would be equal to V by R. Voltage is 9 and what is resistance? It is 13.4. So when you divide these two values, 9 by 13.4, you will get the answer equal to 0.67 ampere approximately. Fine. So this is the amount of current that is flowing through all these resistors. not only through 12 ohm but flowing through all these resistors, because in series current passing through different resistors is same. So this is our question number 9. So let's move to next question number 10. So here is our question number 10. How many 176 ohm resistors in parallel are required to carry the current of 5 ampere on 220 volt line? So he is asking that how many resistors of 170 ohm each should be connected in parallel to get the current of 5 ampere when voltage is 220. So we will be supposing that the number of resistors are n. Let number of resistors are n. Now when we are connecting these n resistors in parallel, what would be the net resistance? The net resistance would be equal to resistance of first, resistance of second, up to resistance of nth. Fine. So from here LCM would be R, and here we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to n. Fine. So when you are adding n ones, you will get n over here. So our 1 by net resistance is n by R. So our net resistance would be equal to R by n. And what is R? R is resistance of each resistor, which is 176 ohm. So it would be 176 over n. So our net resistance is equal to 176 by n. Now next what we need to do is, we will be simply applying Ohm's law to calculate this value of n. Now from Ohm's law, we have V is equal to IR. Voltage over here is 220. Current needed is 5 ampere. And resistance, that is net resistance of this circuit, is 176 by n. So from here you can calculate the value of n. And this n would be equal to 5 into 176 over 220. Now by cancelling these, you will be left with n is equal to 4. So you need 4 resistors of 176 ohm each, and you will be connecting them in parallel. Then the current of 5 ampere would pass when potential is 220 volt. So our answer is 4 resistors. So in this question number 11, show how would you connect 3 resistors, each of resistance 6 ohm, so that the combination has resistance of, in first case they need 9 ohm and in second case 4 ohm. So what we will be doing, we have to connect the 3 resistors, each of 6 ohm, in such a combination that their total resistance is, in first case we will be proving it, 9 ohm. So for 9 ohm, what we can do, see, look here, I am connecting 2 resistors of 6 ohm in parallel and 1 resistance of 6 ohm in series with it, like this. Now in this circuit, what would be the total resistance? So if you are going to calculate the total resistance, as these two are in series, their net resistance would be equal to 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, that is equal to 2 by 6, or R would be equal to 6 by 2, that is equal to 3 ohm. So net resistance of these two parallel resistances is 3 ohm, and this 6 is connected in series. So the total resistance of this circuit will become 6 plus 3, that is equal to 9. So R total would be equal to 6 plus 3 or 3 plus 6, because these two are now in series, that would be equal to 9 ohm. So to get the resistance of 9 ohm, what we have done, we have connected 2 resistors in parallel and 1 in series with it. Similarly, to get the resistance of 4 ohm from this combination, what we will be doing, I would be connecting 2 resistors in series like this and 1 resistor in parallel with these two. So my circuit will look like this. Now here the net resistance of these two series would be equal to 12, 6 plus 6, these two are in series. So after solving this, we will be left with 12 ohm and 6 ohm in parallel. Fine. Now from this circuit we can easily calculate the net resistance, and net resistance would be equal to, because these two are in parallel, so 1 by total resistance, it would be equal to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6. So 12 will be our LCM, it will be 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3 by 12. Fine. So our total would be equal to 12 by 3, it's reciprocal. So our total would be equal to 12 by 3, that is equal to 4. Fine. So in this way we can get the total resistance of 4 ohm by connecting the resistors in this manner. 2 in series and 1 in parallel with these two. Fine. So this is our question number 11. So in this question, several electric bulbs designed to be used at 220 volt supply are rated at 10 watt. That means their power is 10 watt and the supply that they need is 220 volt. How many such bulbs can be connected in parallel if maximum current that can pass through them is 5 ampere? So we have to calculate that how many such bulbs we can connect them in parallel so that 5 ampere current passes through them at voltage of 220 volt. Fine. So what we will be doing, so as power is given, power is of course equal to 10 watt, that is given over here, and voltage at which it is operating is 220 volt. Fine. So from here we can calculate the resistance of each bulb. Now to calculate resistance of each bulb, we have formula for power is equal to V square by R. Fine. So from this formula, the value of resistance would be equal to V square by P. So resistance of each bulb would be equal to V square, means this 220 into 220 divided by power, that is 10. Fine. So from here the resistance of each bulb would be equal to, I would be writing it over here. So resistance of each bulb would be equal to 4840 ohm. So resistance of each bulb is 4840 ohm. Now we want to calculate that how many such bulbs we can connect them in parallel. So we have already done this in a previous question, that when we are connecting such bulbs in parallel, let us suppose that we are connecting n bulbs in parallel. Fine. So when we are connecting n bulbs in parallel, what would be the total resistance? It would be equal to resistance of first, resistance of second, up to resistance of nth. Fine. So from here R would be our LCM, 1 plus 1 up to n times would be n. So it is 1 by R total. So our R total would be equal to R by n. So when we are connecting n bulbs in parallel, we are supposing that we are connecting n bulbs in parallel. Fine. So in that case our total resistance would be equal to R by n. Now we just need to apply Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. The voltage at which these bulbs are operated is same, 220 volt. Current, that is maximum current that can pass, is of course 5 ampere. So it is 5. And resistance is, total resistance of n bulbs connected in parallel is R by n. So from here we can easily calculate the value of n, and this n would be equal to 5 into R. Now what is the value of R? R is the resistance of each bulb. We have already calculated the resistance of each bulb is 4840. So I would be putting this over here, over 220. Fine. Now by solving this, you will get your answer equal to 110. That means you have to connect 110 bulbs in parallel to pass the current of 5 ampere at 220 volt line. So this is our answer, 110 bulbs. So here is our question number 13. A hot plate of oven, it is connected to 220 volt. So voltage is 220 volt. And it has two resistance coils A and B, each of 20 ohm. Means in this oven there are two resistance coils, each has resistance of 24 ohm. Now these can be used separately, in series and in parallel. That means you can use these coils separately Separately means you can use one of these two coils, fine, and you can use them in series and you can also use them in parallel. So what is the current in all these three cases? So we have to calculate the current when either one of these is used, second case when these two are used in series, and in third case when these two are used in parallel. So we will be solving this first when they are used separately. So when they are used separately. Separately means either one is used. What is the resistance of one coil? Resistance of one coil is of course 24 ohm. Fine. And it is used at voltage of 220 volt. So V is equal to 220 volt. And we have to calculate the current. So what would be the current? I is equal to V by R. So it will be 220 divided by 24. And this will be equal to approximately 9.2 ampere. So this will be the approximate answer of first case. Second is when they are used in series. So this was first when separately one of those were used. Second, when they are used in series. So in series, what would be the total resistance? Total resistance would be 24 plus 24. We know in series resistances gets added up. So net resistance in series would be equal to 24 plus 24, that is equal to 48 ohm. So in that case, the current would be equal to V by R. V is of course same 220, R is 48, and this will be equal to 4.6 ohm. Fine. Now moving on to third part, when they are used in parallel. Now in parallel, what would be the total resistance? 1 by total resistance would be equal to 1 by 24 plus 1 by 24. 24 is LCM. So R total in parallel would be equal to 24 by 2. So that is equal to 12 ohm. Fine. So resistance is 12 ohm in parallel. So what would be the current? Current would be equal to V by R, that is 220 divided by 12. And this will be equals to approximately 18.3 ampere. Fine. I have written ohm over here by mistake. It will be ampere. Current is equal to 4.6 ampere. So hope this is clear. So current in first case when they are used separately is 9.2 ampere. When used in series, the current is 4.6 ampere. When they are used in parallel, the current is 18.3 ampere. Fine. So in this way we can calculate the currents in three different cases in this question. So here is question number 14. Compare the power used in 2 ohm resistor in each of the following circuits. First circuit is a 6 volt battery in series with 1 ohm and 2 ohm, and second is a 4 volt battery in parallel with 12 ohm and 2 ohm. Fine. So we will be solving this first case, case 1. So voltage is 6 volt, so I would be writing V is equal to 6, and you have the series connection of 1 ohm and 2 ohm. The circuit diagram will look like this: 1 ohm over here, 2 ohm over here, and these two are connected with a battery of 6 volt. Fine. So now what will be the current that will flow through these resistors? We know in series current passing through resistors is same. So the current which would be passing through 1 ohm, it will also be passing through 2 ohm. So how to calculate the current? For that we will have to calculate the net resistance of this circuit, and the net resistance would be, as these two are connected in series, it would be 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3 ohm. So net resistance is equal to 3 ohm. Voltage is 6. So what would be the current? I would be equal to V by R. So it would be 6 divided by 3. So that is equal to 2 ampere. Now when 2 ampere is passing through this 2 ohm resistor, as we have to calculate the power through 2 ohm resistor, right? So the current that is passing through this 2 ohm resistor is 2 ampere and voltage is 6, but this voltage will not be same at this and this because in series voltage is different. So we cannot apply formula for voltage directly over here, fine. So what I will be using, so I have the formula for power which is P is equal to I square R. So I will be using this formula as this will be easier to calculate over here. So what is current? Current is 2 ampere, so square of 2. And what is resistance across which we want to calculate the power? Resistance is 2 ohm multiplied by 2. So our answer would be 4 into 2, that is equal to 8 watt. Fine. So 8 watt is the power which is being used by this 2 ohm resistor. Now moving on to second part of the question, which is a 4 volt battery in parallel with 12 ohm and 2 ohm. Fine. Now the circuit diagram will look like this. This is 12 ohm and this is 2 ohm. These two are in parallel and they are connected with a battery of voltage is equal to 4 volt. Right? Now in this case we want to calculate the power in this resistor. Now as we know that in parallel the voltage remains same. Fine. As the voltage of this battery is 4 volt, it will be reflected over here and reflected over here also. Fine. So I would be using the formula for power which has voltage as well as resistance. So that formula is V square by R. Fine. So voltage across this is 4. So it will be square of 4, that is equal to 16 over the value of resistance. So resistance is of course 2 over here across which we want to calculate the power. So it would be equal to 8 watt. So in second case also the power would be equal to 8 watt. In first case it was again equal to 8 watt. So our answers are 8 watt in both the cases. So now moving on to question number 15. Two lamps, one rated at 100 watt and 220 volt and another at 60 watt and 220 volt. These are connected in parallel and the electric supply. See, these two are connected parallel to each other with the electric supply. What current is drawn from the line if supply voltage is 2 volt? Means what will be the current that will be drawn from the source of 220 volt if these two lamps they are connected in parallel. Fine. So now to calculate current we would have to know the resistance of these lamps when their power and voltage is given. So firstly I will be calculating resistance of both of these lamps. So for lamp 1, for first lamp, I know power is given, that is 100 watt and potential V is 220 volt. Fine. Now I have a formula that power is equal to V square by R. So by using this formula I will be calculating the value of R, and R would be equal to V square by P. V square means square of 220 and power is of course 100. Fine. So this will be the resistance of first lamp. Fine. So I would be writing it as, this will be 220 into 220 over 100. This will get cancelled. So we will be left with 484 ohm. So this is the resistance of first lamp. Similarly, we can calculate resistance of lamp 2. For lamp 2, the resistance would be equal to, I am writing it as L2 R1. So I will be writing R2 over here. So it will be voltage. Voltage is same, 220 for it also. So square of 220, formula is same, V square by P. So V square by P, power here is 60. Fine. So what I will be getting, 220 into 220 over 60. So this would be equal to, so this will be approximately equal to 806.7. Fine. So resistance of first lamp is 484 ohm and resistance of second lamp is 806.7 ohm. Now both of these resistors or both of these lamps, they are connected in parallel. So I will be calculating their net resistance when these are connected in parallel. So when connected in parallel, when they are connected in parallel, the net resistance would be equal to resistance of first, that is 484, plus resistance of second. From here, by solving this equation, I will be getting the net resistance equal to 302.5 ohm. So net resistance of this circuit will be equal to 302.5 ohm when these two lamps are connected in parallel. Now we just need to calculate the current. So current is V by R, voltage is 220 volt, current is 302.5. So our current would be equal to 0.727 ampere approximately. So our answer would be approximately equal to 0.727 ampere. So our 16th question is, which will use more energy, a 250 watt TV set in 1 hour or a 1200 watt toaster in 10 minutes? Out of these two appliances, which will use more energy? That is the question. So we will be calculating energy for both of these and then we will be comparing our answers. So firstly, for TV set, see, as we are familiar with the formula that power is equal to energy per unit time. So from here we can get energy is equal to power multiplied by time. Fine. So energy of TV set would be equal to power of TV set, that is 250 watt multiplied by time. Time is, TV set is operated for 1 hour. Fine. So 1 hour we will be converting 1 hour into seconds and that would be equal to 3600 seconds. Fine. So from here the energy used by TV set would be equal to 900,000 joules. So this will be the energy which will be used by TV set. Now coming to toaster. So for a toaster, again we will be applying same formula. So energy for toaster will be equal to power for toaster into time. So power of toaster is 1200. Time is 10 minutes. So to convert 10 minutes into second, I would be writing 10 into 60. So this would be equal to, so it would be equal to here we have 9 lakh joule of energy. Here we have 7,20,000 joules of energy. So out of these two, TV set is of course using greater amount of energy. So our answer would be a TV set at 220 watt and working for 1 hour will be using greater amount of energy as compared to toaster. So here is our question number 17. The electric heater of resistance 8 ohm draws 15 ampere of current from service mains in 2 hours. Calculate the rate at which heat is produced in the heater. Fine. So we have to calculate the rate at which heat is being produced. So what is the formula for heat? We know the formula for heat is equal to I square RT. So but in this question you want to calculate the rate of heat. Rate means heat divided by time. So when you will divide heat by time, so what you will be left with? Of course, heat per unit time is power. Similarly, as we say that the energy per unit time is power, similarly heat per unit time is also power. So basically we are calculating power. This T and T will get cancelled. So heat per unit time would be equal to I square R. So what is current? Current in this circuit is 15 ampere. So square of 15 into resistance. So resistance is 8. So by calculating this or by solving this, you will be left with 1800 joule per second. Fine. So our answer is 1800 joule per second, or we can also say 1800 watt is the answer. Fine. So this is our question number 17. Next, proceeding to last question of exercise, that is question number 18. So here is our question number 18. It is basically a theoretical question. It has 5 parts, so we will be discussing all these parts one by one. So first part is, why is tungsten used in filaments of lamps? See, tungsten is actually an alloy, fine, and for alloys the resistivity is quite large and the melting point is also higher. So what we need for filaments? The current passes through the filaments and they glows. That means we want filaments to produce lot of heat and they should not melt at high temperatures. So alloys are the perfect candidates to work as filaments. Tungsten is an alloy and it has high resistivity and high melting point. That is why it is used as a filament in bulbs and lamps. So this is the explanation for first part. And second part is, why are conductors of electric heating devices made up of alloys rather than pure metals? What are the electric heating devices? These are the devices which produces heat from electricity. For example, you have an electric iron, you have a toaster, you have a heater. So all these devices are electric heating devices. So electric heating devices have to produce large amount of current, fine, and they should also produce large amount of current without breaking itself, without melting themselves, fine. So alloys are, as we have already discussed in the first part, that alloys are the materials which has high resistivity so that they can produce large amount of heat, and at the same time they have high melting point. So we use these alloys in electric heating devices, and we are not using conductors because conductors have low resistivity. That means they will not be producing enough amount of heat. At the same time they have low melting point. They will get broken easily, they will get melted easily, they will be melting very easily. So they will be melting at very low temperatures. So we will not be using simple conductors or simple pure metals. So we will not be using pure metals. So that is the explanation to second part. Third part is, why is series arrangement not used in domestic circuits? See what happened in series arrangement. In series, the voltage gets divided into different parts. Means different components, different resistors connected in series, they will be having different voltages. So when they have different voltages, what would happen? The amount of current which would flow through them will decrease. Fine. So due to lesser potential difference inside the conductor, each resistor will not be getting enough amount of voltage as it is required in that circuit. Fine. And there is another reason for this also, that when we connect number of components in series, the net resistance increases. So if net resistance increases, the heating effect will also increase. Next is D part, how resistance of wire varies with cross section. So this is again simple question. As we know that resistance is inversely proportional to area. So if you have a thicker wire, a wire of greater cross section area, the resistance will be lower. So its resistivity will also be lower. Fine. So our answer would be, the resistance of wire will decrease with increase in cross section area. As we write, R is inversely proportional to A. And the last part is, why are copper and aluminium wires usually employed for electric transmission? Now in electric transmission we use copper and aluminium wires. The reason is simple. In electric transmission you want minimum wastage of energy. That means there should be minimum amount of resistance. Fine. So if resistance will be lesser, then your current will be flowing easily. There will be no wastage of current. And these copper and aluminium, they have low resistivity, so they will be offering low resistance to flow of current. That is why we use them in electric transmission. So that is the explanation to last part. And with this we have done all our 18 question in exercise of chapter electricity. So hope these are clear. That's all. Thank you.